say, well, hello there, Cindy. Cindy Trish is the executive director of Healthy Aging Martha's Vineyard. And you, Cindy, are part of the collaboration between HMV, Elder Services of Cape Cod and the Islands, and the Chamber of Commerce here on Martha's Vineyard, along with Healthy Aging and Martha's Vineyard, to put on a pair of virtual sessions that are going to teach. They're kind of called it's a state of the island lively and informative panel discussion on older adults 50 and above and the employment therein. So I'm wondering, first of all, if you can just tell me a little bit about what you do with regards to older adult employment. And then
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Yes, all righty. So Healthy Aging is an advocacy, planning, and momentum building organization to ensure that we have the services and the infrastructure in place to serve our growing older adult population. So employment is definitely one of the areas of interest and concern to our older adults, especially post-COVID. We conducted a survey at the end of last year with a response rate of 2,500 older adults who completed 68 questions, very comprehensive. And we did ask some questions about employment and learned that 35% of our older adults over the age of 60 are currently employed. We also have a percentage of older adults who would like to be employed and are interested in learning more about how to improve their skills and what are the resources in place to help them become employed. Post-COVID also, we are observing additional resources being funded at the national level and the state level to support our older adults who are looking for part-time and full-time work. The other part of this is we find that because of COVID and lifestyle changes, a significant portion of our older adults are employed by vineyard-based employers, as well as many who work for employers off island. So this Zoom craze that you and I are part of right now provides an opportunity to broaden the kimono or broaden the landscape in terms of exploring employment while you live comfortably on the island. So because there's so much going on and because our lives are changing and because there are many older adults who stopped working for a period of time to care for a family member, to be involved in volunteer work, who would like to just explore and learn about, if they were interested in a job, what would be the way, or employment, what would be the way to improve their chances, as well as what are the resources out there at the ready to help them get a job. So with that in mind, we brought together a group of speakers who are going to share information and allow everyone to ask every question they ever wanted to about employment and how to get employed.
So people who, like you said, have had an interruption because of COVID and they're older and they might be wanting to get back into the workforce or redirect from a different job that they had done before, and just wanting to re-engage with with being able to have a livelihood is what this is geared towards.
Absolutely. We do have an extremely high number of older adults who are actively volunteering, contributing not for pay, but the focus of this is really on employment, for remuneration. So that, or just to explore and learn about what's changing in terms of the resources that are available.
And so they're coming up on April 7th and April 14th. It's a series of 2 virtual sessions, 5:30 to 6:30, Wednesday, April 7th, and the following Wednesday, April 14th, 5:30 to 6:30, a nice solid hour of information. Do you have to, is it, they're paired, but they're different topically, so you can attend one or the other if you can't attend both, or
absolutely, yes. So the first session is really talking about the resources that are out there to support older adults, and we're going to be having the Senior Community Service Employment Program. Part of Elder Services will be speaking. I'll be sharing a little of that data on on the employment landscape in terms of what our older adults are doing today. We're having a speaker from the Mass Association on Councils of Aging to share with us a new program on 50 plus job seekers. And we're also hearing from vocational services for the disabled, all which have some amazing resources that they can bring to the table for older adults. That's what's happening that night. And while it's an hour long, we are speaking briefly for 6 minutes per speaker to allow a conversation with those attending who'll be able to share their questions through chat and make this more interactive. The second week is more on an overview of the employment landscape here on the island, where the Chamber of Commerce will be just sharing with what's going on there. And then more focused on how to upskill. What are the options to upskill in order to look for a job? And so
And when you say
HAMV.
that, Cindy, when you say that, upskilling means if you don't, if you're in over 50 and you don't have you don't have the experience or the credentials to do a certain job, that you're looking for ways through HMV to provide that
Absolutely. So
education.
that,
Okay.
yes. So are there things that you feel like you might want to um, improve your technology comfort level or whatever? So we want to share what some of those resources are, led by our ACE, our adult continuing education program here on the island, and then also the job seeker programs. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about volunteerism as a way to paid employment. So again, some tools in our toolbox, lively conversation. We expect people to attend who are currently employed and, just kind of want to think about maybe doing something different and how to take that on, as well as those who've been out of the workforce for a while.
So it really is taking people out of work, but also people who might just be wanting a change who are currently employed. It kind of almost feels like it is a later life version of the college graduate, where you're getting them involved with internships and other ways to see life and have a second new beginning.
Well, absolutely. It's a great comparison. I think for us, because there is more national funding going toward helping older adults improve their skills, find a job where they can learn on the job. We don't want to miss the opportunity to take advantage of those resources. So you can think of it as that career room in the college center. This is a virtual one for those of us who are older adults.
I think that's so important to have these resources available, but also to just talk about the reality of life changing and having its chapters throughout all of life, and not giving up at a certain point in your life when you're older and you think that you don't have your finger on the pulse of what's happening anymore, and you're just kind of aged out of things, because then you stop living and you get sick and you just wither. And I think this is kind of going to keep vibrancy going in the community too, which makes it a healthier community.
Well, we know from our research that older adults work primarily because of the need for income, but also for social connection and looking for a cultural fit and flexibility. So it is, it's an opportunity to adapt and align a employment opportunity to what's important to you. And that may be something that we can do as older adults we might not have been able to do when we were younger. So
Yeah, because you maybe throughout life you've opened up different parts of your personality and your comfort, and so you see other possibilities for yourself, but you just don't have that experience. You're going to be able to gain it now through these information sessions, and then who you meet going forward and the education you get. This is a wonderful collaboration between all of these amazing organizations that the one you're a part of and the other three, and the fact that and I'll just mention that once again for people who might not know, it's ASMV, Elder Services of Cape Cod and the Islands, Healthy Aging Martha's Vineyard, and the Martha's Vineyard Chamber of Commerce have come together to create this. Wednesday, April 7th, 5:30 to 6:30, and the following Wednesday, April 14th, 5:30 to 6:30. And people need to pre-register for this.
yes.
And where can they do that? Can they get the link?
Well, the easiest place to do is to go to Healthy Aging's website. So that's HAMV.org. And on the home page is a link to register. They're also in the Minute next Thursday, which would be April 8th.
Mhm.
There'll be you can click through on the Minute to the session for the 15th.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Cindy, for this information. And I know we're going to talk more in the future about the surveys that you did and the information you gathered from surveys that were conducted. But you did touch upon some of the research you've done and the findings from the research. What else can you tell us about the island's climate for old people over 50 as far as jobs?
Well, I think we've definitely seen a significant disruption as a result of COVID, especially for tourist or seasonally based full-time or part-time positions. The unemployment statistics are definitely up. In January of 2021. Unemployment on the island for all ages was about 12%. And a year ago at that time, it was 7%. And the long-term trend is typically around 6%. So we have a serious issue not only for our older adults, but oftentimes it becomes more difficult for older adults to re-enter the job force, to feel confident, to be able to fully express, to network effectively, and to be able to express their incredible experience and expertise in a way that a potential employer can hear it. So I think we're looking forward to hearing more from the Chamber of Commerce on their sense on what the island employment is going to look like this summer. But as I mentioned before, the kimono is open if you're looking at employers off island as well.
Okay. And so these information sessions are going to inform us of a lot of things. It's also going to connect people over 50 with you, Cindy, and your organization for further support and help in trying to navigate that world. of-
Absolutely, yes, yeah. We're standing by to converse with anyone who would like to reach out. And there are just incredible service programs on the island for our older adults, and helping get the word out about those, and serving the needs of our older adults is why we're here.
Thank you so much, Cindy.